Hey Virgo, how are you? Um, Sounds like things have been kind of calming down for you guys a little bit, which is good because we've talked about this before about how like things had kind of gotten intense for a while and you were a little overwhelmed, especially end of last year, beginning of this year, but yeah, you're moving forward. I think especially in career, you're getting like I love this card in this deck. This girl is just like literally taking a leap of faith by like driving off of a cliff. And I like to assume that this little chariot thing, this sphinx thing with wheels, sphinx on wheels, is going to land smoothly on another. Like, let's assume that this isn't the end of Thelma and Louise 2, where they like literally just drive off a cliff. Let's assume that this is just kind of a fun movement of like, um, yeah. Anyway, regardless of that, I think the chariot is mostly good, positive, forward. Things are happening for you, especially in career. So, whoops, the devil. Okay, the devil came out for you too. I've been thinking about the devil a lot lately. What is the medicine of the devil? I don't know that I fully, completely understand the devil right now, but I think that the devil is potentially tied to what we want without knowing if it's serving us or not. Kind of like, for example, it's nice to eat a bunch of ice cream, but if you eat a bunch of ice cream, sometimes you get a stomachache. So I think it's like kind of sometimes about excess, but also just kind of about not like us just not caring about the consequences of what we need in the moment to feel good. But I also don't know that that's always bad. Like, I don't want to put good or bad judgment on this card because sometimes that's how we learn, right? Like, that's how we create our boundaries, is by making those mistakes. Like, if I eat too much ice cream one day and get a stomach ache, then I'm not going to eat so much ice cream in the future. Or, like, a bad relationship where it's like you can't let go of it until you've, like, really taken in the experience of why you chose that relationship in the first place so that it can change you. So sometimes I think the devil can kind of be an invitation into knowing ourselves better and like knowing our shadow dark side and not judging that part of us and not thinking that that part of us is like bad and needs to be banished, but knowing how that part of us really plays into our personalities so that maybe just we can be more conscious. I think definitely I'm just getting like a consciousness vibe for you, Virgo, that you don't need to like be perfect. I'm pulling up a lot of the same cards for you as Leo, interestingly enough. So, yeah, I mean, I even as I pulled the chariot, I to myself was thinking like, I feel like I need to brush up on like what the main difference between the chariot and the 8 of wands is, because both of these like for me, I just get forward movement. So, maybe I'll do a little bit of brushing up on my tarot. I have a little bit of a cold. Yeah, so this one is victory, willpower, inner drive. And the challenges that you bump up against on your journey will ultimately make you stronger, maintain focus, and you will reach out your destination with roaring success. Yeah, okay, cool. And then we'll go to 8 of Wands. And this one, progress, movement, rapid action. Things are falling into place in a serendipitous fashion. Within structure, there is freedom, room for more self-expression and creativity. Yeah, I mean, I guess there isn't a difference. It doesn't matter, interestingly enough. So things are happening in your life, Virgo. Like, there's going to be some changes, perhaps, but maybe even if not changes, just some, like, expansion of what already is. Maybe that's more what it is. It's not like everything's different now. It's more kind of like what you've been establishing is starting to grow and move forward. Oh, the Hierophant. Okay. I think of this as the Illuminati card. It's typically about, like, structures that be. So like maybe higher education is involved, or maybe it's kind of like about a business, or like perhaps the corporate ladder comes to mind. So I wonder what this says for you. Maybe you, I mean, maybe what I'm getting a little bit is like, what is also your relationship to, especially in career? Like, let's talk about your career, because you're getting forward movement and like progress. So you have, especially I know you Virgo, so you've been like working and cultivating your own business, your own brand, like your own way of making your difference and change in the world. And some of you are working within the system, some of you are working outside of the system. But I think regardless of whether you're working in the system to try to change the system, or whether you're working outside of the system to try to change the system, regardless of like where your position is with the Hierophant, whether you're inside this pyramid or outside of it, regardless, you still have a relationship to this whole thing. This thing is affecting you, whether you're choosing, because even if you're avoiding it and trying not to be a part of it, it still exists, and you're not being in it. It's still basically you trying to rebel against it and trying to like have some kind of impact against it, or trying to escape it. And so it's still having, I think maybe what I'm getting a little bit is that whatever, like, so like let's say you used to have your own business. If you have your own business, you're still kind of wondering like, oh, should I have maybe been in the system? Or like, what did I give up by not being in the system? And like, is that going to pay off? And then if you're in the system, maybe you're like, am I just like an evil person who is part of the problem and I will never be able to, because like the system's going to change me so that I can't change it? Is that making any sense? Like, I think perhaps in May, you're just in this like, especially since things are moving forward and you're seeing your momentum, I think maybe you're just reflecting on your relationship to your work and to the world, and wondering like, I think you're just maybe wondering like, am I a good person, or like, am I doing the right things? Is this a good path? I think there's a little bit of like thinking maybe that you're not doing, well, let's see what else I have. But I think that you're, yeah, like, I got justice. So I think that you're definitely, regardless of what you do, I think your work is about seeking justice and making the world a better place. So I think you're wondering about like what, yeah, especially since the devil came up. I think it's kind of like you're looking for justice in your life. So I think you're really questioning like if what you're doing is the best way to seek the justice that you want, and whether you're contributing to it in a good way or not, and whether you're going to make the impact you want. And so I think you're just really reflecting on kind of your own motivations and where they come from. I think you're kind of maybe delving into your unconscious a little bit. Maybe you're grappling with some shame and guilt about things. I don't know why, because Virgo, you're amazing, and you don't really need to feel, I don't get, like, I don't think that the devil is who you are, but I think maybe you're just really wanting to process and understand how you fit into, like, the change that you want to make. Did I just repeat myself a bunch? Probably. But I'm kind of, making this up as I go. I'm interpreting, I'm channeling divine messages, so I'm processing as I'm reading and kind of trying to connect the dots, if you will. I'm in a process of learning, so are you. You're learning about yourself. And I think that as you do learn about yourself and do this kind of self-reflection on what are the areas that I'm, like, I think you're just doing a lot of, like, soul-searching about career especially, and about how your work does or does not, and how you make a difference, and how your relationship to yourself and your work does or does not make a difference. And as you think about and take stock because of, like, yeah, I guess it's, like, basically this, like, if, like, okay, right now I'm doing this YouTube channel and literally no one watches it, which is perfectly fine with me because I'm doing this channel for me to learn how to read tarot and for me to get in touch with my own practice of reading tarot. But, like, I have no one watching it. But, like, let's just say, like, a bunch of people started watching it. That would be a little bit scary, and I'd be wondering, like, am I even good at reading tarot? Do I even know what the fuck I'm doing? Am I just, like, a fraud or an imposter? And then is me doing these YouTube videos, am I, like, helping some, like, bad system of YouTube, like, sell ads? Or am I reaching people in a profound way? Like, what is the impact that I'm having? Is this just, like, am I misleading people by, like, reading tarot and, like, making them think things? Like, is this fair? That's just an example from my own life. So I think when I get the Knight of Pentacles, the answer I get to all those questions is, like, yes, this abundance that you've cultivated, this kind of work that, like, this foundation that you've built is good, and it is having a positive difference in the ways that you ultimately want, and, like, the reason why you do this work. Yeah, true colors, splendor, vitality. Indulge yourself. You deserve it. Your hard work is paying off, and you're reaping the rewards. Show your true... By staying true to yourself and your vision, you're improving the quality of your life. Show your true colors by saying yes to your independent spirit and the creations you're bringing forth into this world. Acknowledge your accomplishments and what it took for you to get satisfaction to this place of fulfillment, and blah, blah, blah. So I think basically it's like, yes, especially if in May you kind of take stock, reflect on, like, how you relate to what it is that you do, then I think you'll be able to appreciate yourself and your understanding of the impact you make, and you'll have, like, a clearer sense of the abundance you have cultivated and be able to really enjoy it, and others will be able to enjoy it too, because you will have made the positive difference that you're seeking, and you'll basically have incorporated and integrated your shadow side so that you know what it is that you do to, like, kind of affect change, and that you can really just completely enjoy the forward growth that you're experiencing. So May is, like, forward growth and, you know, kind of the culmination of good things leading to your abundance is causing you to just kind of understand yourself on a deeper level so that you can fully really enjoy this moment and move forward in a safe, beautiful, wonderful way where you're doing all the things that you want to do. Bye, Virgo. I love you.